What's up, guys? It's Ornlu, back with another historical battle. So apparently I was wrong, and for some reason I still have access to the game, even though it comes out tomorrow officially. So by the time you guys are seeing this, it will probably be on Friday, so the game will have already been out. But we're going to be doing Hastings here, and we're just going to keep this train a-rolling.
Mercenaries and Norman knights look dubiously at the ships that wobble in the black, fog-choked sea. What man is this Duke William to put so many horses on leaky transports? William ignores their questioning glances and stares across the channel in the direction of England. Edward the Confessor is dead, and now 3 men claim rulership of England. Harold the Saxon sits on the English throne, and even now hastens to fortify his shores against 2 invasions. Harald Hadrada, king of Denmark and Norway, sends Vikings from the north as William invades from the south. The outcome of this 3-way conflict is as murky as the fog that shrouds the English Channel. Harold the Saxon's housecarls are professional soldiers, not mercenaries. William's only chance is to use heavy cavalry. To do so, he must first get all of these horses onto these unreliable boats. The future of England is about to be decided.
Yeah. Well, okay, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so here is all the stuff if you want to read it. I've played this plenty of times. I know what's going on, I hope.
Our knights across the channel. Use them to defend our builders. Norman castles should hold back the Saxon tide, both here and on Britain.
So in this scenario, you are... It's like kind of the follow-up to York, which I did a little while ago. Except this time you're playing as the Normans. Of course, are represented in-game as the Franks. And you gotta take down the Saxons. This is, of course, a classic from Age of Conquerors. You know, it's William the Conqueror, Age of Conquerors. I guess that all makes sense. Checks out. And like all of the AOC and AOK scenarios, I have played this on DE. Not a whole lot's changed. But it was a pretty good one. And it just kind of is turning out that I was doing most of the European for historical battles. So we're just going to continue to do those until we finish that up. And then we'll do the Middle Eastern ones and Asia ones in some sort of order. The new campaigns, by the way, I would like to play on stream. I'm not sure exactly when I'll be doing that. As I'm recording this, Thursday, tomorrow, is when the game comes out, and I'll be playing and grinding the ladder. So, I don't know, maybe Friday or Saturday or something.
It's Harold the Saxon who's the enemy of us both.
Yeah, right.
If you declare me an ally, I'll do likewise with thee.
Well, ain't that right friendly of you, stranger? Little late on the boar lure, but it's okay. It's just a single-player campaign. So, in this scenario, you do start over in northern France, since, you know, we're the Normans. And you have to get all the way over to England. And if you look at the minimap, you can see that this is indeed a 3-way battle, as they said in the beginning of the scenario, where it is Harald Hadrada's Vikings against Harold the Saxon's, you know, Saxons, and our Normans. So right now, Harold is sending you know, his little dudes forward. I don't know why that guy's stuck. That looks like a bug. I guess he's left to guard the ships. That's actually not a thing. It's totally 100% a bug. LOL. Anyway, our main enemies are, of course, over in England, but our lands are not quite safe. We still have to contend with some raiders and stuff like that over here in Normandy. But of course, as you would expect, gotta get our economy up and rolling first. At least we start in the Castle Age on this one. Oh, whoopsies. Can we take him? Can we take him? I don't think we can take him, guys. I actually have very little faith that we can take him. Go ahead and just get up our third town center. In case you didn't see, our pop limit is going to be 125. I think that might be a slight increase from Age of Conquerors. I'm pretty sure it was 100 there. So that's a nice little increase. I'll takes it. Yeah, not sure why Harald Hadrada is not attacking. He's supposed to be doing that. He did the last time I played it. Maybe there's like a set timer or something. But he himself is over here. You can see here that it's Harald Hadrada, but the hero's name is not changed from AOC, which is Harald Hadrada, with the 2 A's, and then it's Hadrada. That's a little bit of a, inconsistent. But don't worry, I'm sure nobody will notice it except anyone who watches this video. We're just gonna make a few knights to start clearing stuff up. But what can happen is... Yeah, I feel like these guys are supposed to be going already. I don't know. So, despite Harold the Saxon ostensibly being the main enemy, he's the main dude and it's his castle you have to destroy, the Saxon Navy is going to be the one doing at least a lot of the fighting. They'll be occasionally transporting troops over. So, in the not too distant future, we're going to want to get walled up. Just to be safe. A little bit of stone over here. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like there's a bug going on. These guys really, I think, should be attacking by now. Because then once they attack, they'll lose, and then you'll be given all of these berserks and Harald Hadrada himself. Which is cool, because he's a really cool hero unit that, it's like a throwing axeman, but a berserk. It's kind of like Charles Martel. Except it's kind of annoying because you have to transport all these berserks over yourself, and a lot of the times they'll pop cap you. Or, cause you to be housed or whatever. Typical Ornlu eco balance. Don't need to get too many villagers, as it is only a 125 pop limit. It'll probably end up around 70 or so. Just trying to avoid taking up valuable farmland. So yeah, there's like a bunch of pikemen over here. I think there's some huskarls down here. But as it happens in this scenario, you can kind of just wall yourself off pretty easily. You start on this little plateau thing. But you do have to be careful. Some people might miss this. There is a hole over here by this mountain. And once we clear off those pikemen, we can wall the north as well. Then be uber safe just to get ready to go to Imperial Age. Oops, forgot to hotkey these guys. Come on, boys. Where you at? Where you at? That should be about good for villagers. See? Told you there was a hole there. Yeah, don't think these guys have murder holes. I mean, the best way to tell if an enemy in these campaigns have murder holes or not is just to see if they are, like, what age they're in. Because usually any player, including you, is going to start with more or less whatever the techs are in the age up to what you're in. So, like, we started in Castle Age, so we have all the Feudal Age techs researched, etc., etc. There are, of course, several exceptions to this, but as far as general rules of thumb to go by, that'll serve you pretty well. So yeah, we can just put a gate here, put some walls here, and then that will foil any attempts at landing. Oh yeah, let's turn that on. We can look up to Imperial Age. We won't bother too much with making... Oh, we have a blacksmith. Army in Normandy. Just because, like I said, the real enemy, big bad boss man, is over in England. What we will do is actually build a castle over here, because we do need to make a navy. And since we don't have a dock, the Saxon Navy, which, as you can imagine, does have a dock, and a lot of warships, yeah, they're gonna be able to potentially keep us off water unless we do something about it. So, yep, they're just some Huskarly dudes over here. We'll just drop a castle. Light cannon as well, even a light cav. Start to get those techs out of stone. But yeah, build some docks here, and as Harald Hadrada was so nice to point out, with these longboats, the Isle of Wight down here is a handy place to set up a beachhead. And like I also mentioned, Harold's navy over here is pretty big and scary. He's in Imperial Age and is... Yeah, without this castle it'd be really hard to get docks working. Oh, did not clear out all those guys. Yeah, castle will take care of those guys. Send these knights back. Yeah, might as well just garrison. No! She is nice, lady, don't kill her! No! Bastard! Got all the eco upgrades, except Bowsaw, like the most important one, but who's counting? Yeah, this is definitely bugged. We definitely should have been getting heralds, troops, and stuff. Oh yeah, also, once you send transports over to collect the Huskarls that you would have gotten if this isn't bugging out, you would also get a bunch of resources attributed to you. I think it's like 500 food and gold or something. I mean, nothing too crazy, but Yeah, it's nice. It's better than nothing. I have a feeling that this patrol missed all the relevant units. It's a nice sell price for gold. Let's grab chivalry. But of course we are going to need to get some dock techs. And we are running very low on gold. Well, possible gold income. You have to get all the frickin' dock techs. Let's just go all the way up the coast here and make sure everything's all cleared out. Whoops. So yeah, I mean, because it's an Age of Conquerors scenario, it's not all that hard. But it's still nice to see in DE with all the graphics and stuff. And I feel like pretty much any scenario that has an increased pop cap is just less tedious than it used to be. Okay, it's just a couple more units over there. See if the power of high ground does not save this Cavalier. Obi-Wan lied. Alright, because the Frank Navy sucks, we're just gonna go for some fast fire ships, because that's probably our best option. But yeah, like I said, gold is a bit of an issue. Because once these sites run out, you really don't have any. There's like a little bit more to the south here, guarded by a watchtower. But I'll probably just transport over to the Isle of Wight here, which has a bunch. We'll make several more chevaliers. But yeah, it turns out AIs are complete idiots when it comes to buildings. They know how to micro monks better than any human could ever possibly imagine. But the mysteries of monks, or of buildings rather, not monks. That's what the thing they do well. Yeah, they're pretty dumb. Didn't I send my knights down here? Yeah. Release the ships! Also grab a couple transports, because we'll need to, you know, transport. First, we'll clear this area I was talking about to get access to the gold, and why I've been keeping those idle, or those villagers idle. Other than, of course, just being bad. So I'm pretty sure the Saxon Navy has both architecture and masonry obviously researched, which, in case you did not know, is really impactful when it comes to ships, especially. Like, I mean, it's going to be at least somewhat helpful versus, you know, everything, but it's most especially helpful against units that have small to medium attack bonuses versus buildings. Oh yeah, this is stone. There's a gold mine over here. My bad. Regardless, we'll go clear this out. And then there's just one more camp down here for Harold's Raiders. You can see the scouts right there. Just save those for when we clear out that last camp. And we can even send these villagers forward. Did I build a university ever? No, I did not. Grab a Paladino. So, the Saxon Navy has a few camps. They have a little bit of a economic base here. Well, I think that's their only economic base. They have a big fortress here to the far west of the map that you never really have to attack. And they have a few docks here to the north. And of course they have this little dock over here as well. Oh yeah, those two pikemen. Of course, in contrast to the Tour historical battle, which we did not use knights, which, as some people pointed out in the comments, is indeed historically correct. There were no knights in the battle. Because we're talking about the Franks, as opposed to the French. Here we're talking about the Normans. Now, I am no expert on medieval Europe, but I think knighthood and feudalism was pretty well established by 1066. I think. Regardless, historically, William the Conqueror's army was primarily mercenaries, as they said in the beginning. I'm gonna transport these guys over here. And we'll just go over here, where Harold's army is not attacking for some reason. Kill these two annoying pikemen. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a camp down here. I believe, unlike in AOC, Harold's raiders will retrain some amount of units. Which you can see here, obviously. It's not much of a threat, though. They go down without too much of a fight. You know, considering they have post-feudal age units and you have, at this point, fully upgraded Frank paladins.
Go home, young William. This island will remain Saxon.
Shut up, William the Conqueror. Or Harold the Saxon. I'm William the Conqueror, the hero of our story. Mostly because, you know, he wins. Oh yeah, I see Red did transport some troops over. Oh, he's also going to transport more troops over if I am not paying attention. But we're going to take out his docks, and then that should be an end to that. Really? Oh, god damn it. Anyway, once we get this stuff established over here, we can start building some stables and stuff. Already got treadmill crane just to speed up the process a little bit. Just send most of them over here to go build some stables. And some rams if need be. But yeah, that should be the last of the docks. IIRC. Oh, good gravy. That would be a rather embarrassing way to lose. Frickin' Goths and their bonuses versus buildings, man. Yeah, let's just clear up the rest of these buildings and we'll go ahead and be on our merry way. Oh my god, frickin' kill these damn pikemen. Wait, can you not even go back around that way? That's so weird. Then send these villagers down here as well. Oh, yeah, build the staples. Just get some LOS here. Oh, there's also a Huskarl right there. Perfect. Actually, let's build another castle on this hill. Then we can build these stables. Of course, we now have chivalry available to us, unlike in Age of Conquerors, so that's pretty sick. Also, there's shift queuing, or shift commanding, which was also not in Age of Conquerors. Take out this scout, William. Might as well just get more relevant techs. Can get the old war machine up and running over here. Again, I'm really surprised that this whole thing is bugging out with Harald Hadrada. Kind of disappointing. Oop, of course, one archer. So, he's not technically defeated, but for our purposes, he's defeated. Won't just be annoying us randomly. Can start building some siege workshops a bit more forward. Now, Harold the Saxon, in Age of Conquerors, was actually, like, the man himself, Orange, was actually really a pushover because he didn't have any houses. He gets, like, slowly, you know, a decent... Yeah, whatever. He was pop capped at 25 because he has a town center, and he has a castle. You know, the castle you have to destroy. But other than that, he didn't have any houses, but that's changed now. So he'd start pop capped, and then, you know, you would be the one who would dictate when and if he can have more than 25 population worth of units. Well, I mean, he starts with a much larger army than that. You're going to encounter at least some level of resistance, but it's not that bad. Might need to mix in some taxmen here. Oh yeah, he also has bombard towers, very anachronistically. This is some next level engagement. Oh, I need 3 more stone for another castle. God damn it, where's my market? Do our castle leapfrogging. Just mix in some throwing axemen for whatever reason. Also, I totally overdid it with the warships. We don't need them anymore. But yeah, you can see he has several houses scattered around here, so he can actually make an army. Where that army is exactly, no idea. Maybe it's still triggered to fight Harold the Saxon's army. Or Harald Hadrada's army. Too many Harolds. Or Harald. And of course, as I suggested, he doesn't have any villagers, so you can just take down the production buildings and he won't be able to reproduce. Much like a mule, which can't reproduce, in case you didn't know. Yep, let's not take unnecessary bombard tower hits. I actually do not have a barracks. I'd like to grab... Oh, forgot to bring the man himself over. Oh yeah, also in the original, you couldn't get chemistry, because, again, this happens before gunpowder, bombard towers aside, so you couldn't get any gunpowder. You still can't get any gunpowder, I did check that last time, but you can at least research chemistry for the +1 attack. But yeah, this is even less of a resistance than I remember. Maybe he's not triggered to start building stuff until he defeats Harald Hadrada? Whoops. Oh god, hitting all the wrong buttons. But yeah, this is like pitiful resistance. Also, he's normally an Imperial Age, if I recall correctly. Yeah, this is really weird. Whatever. I'll take it. This castle does have double HP, 9,600 instead of 4,800. But we'll go ahead and take it down and win. And I'll show you guys the rest of the map. I guess Harald Hadrada will forever remain here in Norway, I guess this is supposed to be. If I recall it correctly, he was king of Denmark and Norway.
All hail William the Conqueror, King of
Yay!
Normandy.
Huzzah! So, just real quick, here's the Saxon Navy, which is not putting up much of a threat. Once we took down their docks, they don't rebuild them for some reason. Seems kind of weird. There's some other resources over here. This is also a good landing spot if you so choose. Maybe if you come over right away with the Viking units that you would have gotten, had this scripted attack happened. I mean, Harold would have gotten, Hadrada would have gotten completely wrecked by Harold the Saxon. He's got bombard towers, a couple watchtowers, he had like a bunch of two-handed swordsmen and stuff here, is supposed to. Also, here's the random Saxon Navy base in the back of the map that you never have any incentive to go attack, because it's kind of far away and, you know, your goal's right here. Also, there's a random mining camp here, for reasons. Oh well, let's see William get crowned.
Harold the Saxon's housecarls looked certain to defend the crown for him as they fought the Vikings to a bloody stalemate at Stamford Bridge.
Did they now?
Despite the losses, Harold marched his exhausted troops south to meet William the Conqueror near Hastings. William's archers and pikemen were no match for Harold the Saxon's veteran housecarls. Harold even broke the charge of William's knights. William himself went down in the fray, and as rumors of his death spread, the Normans turned to flee. William was not dead, however, and he rallied his
Plot
troops by
twist.
throwing aside his helmet so they could see his clean-shaven face and know he was alive. William and his armored knights rode down the housecarls, breaking the Saxon force, and continued their ride all the way to London. William was crowned king on Christmas Day. Because his reign eventually ushered England into a position of unprecedented world leadership, the year 1066 became established as the most famous day in English history.
Okay, eventually led to England's position of unprecedented world leadership or whatever they said. That's a little bit of a stretch as a historian. Gotta take a little bit of issue with that. I mean, England didn't really become a true global power until, you know, the 60s or whatever, after the 7 Years' War or whatever, however you want to call it. French and Indian War, as some people in the Western Hemisphere know it. Really, it wasn't until then. Regardless. Here are the little tabs or whatever. So yeah, there's Hastings, 1066. A lot easier than I remembered. Maybe you guys will have a different experience with it. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.